Hello, everyone. Welcome to Millie Chun TV. It's your girl, Millie Chun, and I am joined today with Ebony, the official pot store, and our special guest is Forever Alphonso.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for
Hey,
having me.
I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
King of Allegedly.
Yes,
I
allegedly.
love it. I love it. I'm so glad that you're here, and
Mhm.
we're going to get into some things.
Okay.
Alfonso is a very, very famous TikToker.
Uh,
He's your favorite
really.
TikToker, and
I
we're
like
gonna
that.
talk. We're gonna get into a little. We're gonna get into the reason that he's here. I asked him to be here because I wanted to discuss the Tasha K situation, and we're gonna just talk about that, and then we're gonna get into a review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because
Great.
we're not gonna spend all this time with that. We're just gonna He's coming into YouTube world, and we're just gonna see what we got, and I'm giving him to you. So let's get into it. So Tasha K was on her show on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I heard her say, "Oh, is it still Pride Month?" She had a picture of Taylor James up, correct? Is that his name? Taylor James? Tyler
Tyler.
James?
Yeah.
Tyler James. And she was like, I was asking my hairstylist if she could put a rainbow in my hair. And my hairstylist wasn't with that. So when she said that, I was just like, whoa, where's this coming from? And she just kept going. And then she got into where trans or gay men need to respect her womanism. And so after that, Forever Alfonso made a post about it. He ended up on Neighborhood Talk, y'all.
I
That's
think it
where
was
he ended up.
Hollywood Unlocked.
Hollywood Unlocked.
Yeah.
He ended up on Hollywood Unlocked. Okay. So I'm going to let you go with it and say what you had to say.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this. He ended up on Hollywood Unlocked. And then I think she felt a little bit more comfortable, and she made a live. And she used the F word, right? That
Right.
is very offensive
Very.
to a community of people. And we just have some questions today, just in case we don't know what's really going on, or,
Mhm.
how it goes. But I'm going to let you get started, and I'm going to let you just tell your experience with this.
Sure. So she made the post. I think it was like a preview to like her show that she's gonna do because I normally post about Tasha K a lot. Um,
Okay.
or quite some time for a lot. Let's say a lot. And she basically the way she started the video, I didn't even pay attention with how she started it, saying how is it still Pride Month? I thought she was just being funny. But then she was like, I wanted to get rainbow hair, and her stylist was like, I'm not into that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay. That was the first red flag, but I was like, whatever you want to say. And so she not only insinuated that Tyler was clearly gay because he took the time out to say he's not gay. And she's like, if you were straight, you would just like not say anything. And I was like, that's her opinion, and she's fine to have that opinion. But then she was saying she's not against the community, she's just against trans women who think they're women. And that right there, that is the transphobia. And people are like, I know a lot of people are on the fence about it. They're like, I don't think she was being transphobic and what she said is true. That's not the whole point. The point of the matter is she said she is against trans women who think they're women. That's the equivalent. I'm just using an example. If a white person say, I'm against black people, wouldn't you think they're racist?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I'm like, I don't get why people don't understand that part of it.
Hmm.
And then she's trying to say how, well, she referred to me specifically, saying, hi, I hate women. And I'm like, you and I never had that conversation. My
Right.
mother is a woman. My relatives are women. Why would I hate women? So being gay doesn't mean you hate women. And I'm not saying there isn't probably gay men or gay people out there that hate women,
Right.
but that's not the entire community, and you can't speak for the community, and you don't if you don't have some kind of like you don't have any information. Where are you getting this information is what I don't understand. And then I think she not only went further took it further because she saw that, well, okay, I'm getting some positive reviews and some people are backing me, so I'm just going to continue with this. And then she
Okay.
called me the F word, and I'm like, that was out of pocket because I've never disrespected this lady. And I've had multiple times to like say, I'm not a malicious person, so I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect people. Yes, I throw shade, and that's all fun and games, but I'm not going to go ahead and disrespect you out of nowhere. So I'm like, the way she came at me was just weird.
Can
And
we excuse me
go
one
ahead,
second? Can
sorry.
we clear one thing up?
Sure.
Is Tyler James gay? Do we know that to be true, or is it just
Well, we don't
something?
know that to be true. He said he's
Okay.
not gay. So
Okay.
she was just insinuating that. She's insinuating by him talking about it and making a post about it. She's saying she was insinuating that he's gay.
Okay.
From what I got, that's my opinion. That's what I got from what she said. It could be open to many interpretations.
Okay. So let me ask you this because I just want to be clear on it. So like
Hmm.
in the black community, we use the N word as a greeting, as a term of
Right.
endearment.
Hmm.
Um, we listen to it in our rap music. I mean, it's a part of our culture, right?
Right.
But anyone outside of our culture, it becomes a problem.
Exactly.
So with the F word in
Hmm.
this community, is that the same thing? Like, is it used loosely? Is it used endearing? Like, how? Like, we know it's bad. We know, I
Right.
know it's bad. Ebony knows it's bad.
Hmm. I
But how do you feel in the community with everything else?
I personally don't use that word. And I can again, I can't speak for everybody in the community. I guess that would be up to the persons using it, and if they want to use it amongst their friends. I've heard gay people use it towards each other, both negatively and just talking to their friends. It's like using the N word. It just depends on the context that you're using it in. But I personally don't use the word.
Okay.
And if somebody used the word to me, I would be offended because it's an offensive word.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the biggest misconception about gay and trans people?
I mean, I feel like the biggest misconception is saying they hate women because, like, that's not
Okay.
the case. And you being gay or not being interested in women in a certain way does not mean you hate women.
Okay.
And for her to say that is just weird. And um you're not uplifting women. Your whole platform is you're never uplifting any woman, any no black woman. You've dragged Cardi B, who is a mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife, and you dragged her continuously, and you went to court and admitted that you lied, and you had done no research on this lady. So for you to like be on your platform pretending as if somebody is attacking you as a woman when nobody's attacking you is just, I find that very weird, and it's trifling.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's trifling.
It is. Okay. Ebony, do you have a question?
Okay, so we know you report on pop culture,
Yes.
and I love your edit
Thank
on
you.
top of everything else. Like they're
Thanks.
amazing.
Hmm.
What is it? How was it going from reporting other people's news and pop culture to you becoming the news in
Right.
pop culture?
So
Right.
I'll tell you the story of how I actually found out. So everybody who I follow who's in the media or whatever, I'll set alerts, and so I'll get like an alert if there's like a live or they posted something, and so I got an alert that Tasha K was live, and so I opened the live, being nosy, opened the live, and there's my face, and so I was like, wait, am I in TikTok? And so I was I had like a heart attack because I'm like, wait, why am I showing on her live? And then I realized that she was playing my video leading up to her ranting about it. And so I was like, oh
Wow.
Lord, where is this going? So that was shocking to me. But
Yes.
but yeah, it's very interesting, like being the headline. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. And
Because
then you're having so many, not to cut you off, but then you're having so many people come at you at once, and it's either positive or negative, and you're like, oh God, maybe I should step
you don't know how to deal with it.
right. And then
Like,
I'm like, I don't want to be bullied.
right.
Right.
Exactly. Because I was like, when I saw it, I was like, whoa, Alfonso made Hollywood Unlocked. And then when I
Hmm.
scrolled over, swiped over to see it, I was like, uh oh, what's really happening right here? And I was like, let me message my friend. Look, this is
Right.
crazy.
It's kind of weird. And then I don't know, the way she just tried to like make it seem like, oh, she's the one that's getting bullied, and I'm like, nobody's bullying you, girl. So please stop. She's just trying to get sympathy at this point. And I feel like as a content creator or a blogger or whatever she calls herself, that was very wrong of her to like just get up and attack another blogger for no reason. And
Right.
that was one of my rules that I told myself joining TikTok and doing all this stuff as a content creator. I'm not going to get up and be like, I'm going to be at war with somebody on the internet because I don't know you. You don't know me. At the end of the day, I'm logging off and I'm going to bed or I'm going back to my life. So
Exactly.
I'm not going to like take offense to certain things, like, and take it to the next level. She took it to like a whole different level that was really dark.
Well, we know that you're married and
Hmm.
happily married.
Yes.
And so how did your husband feel about all this?
So my husband was very upset about it, and he was just like, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, and I don't know how you're taking this. And he's like, you're taking this so well. And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking it okay. I'm just, because I'm like, I had this thought of like, do I just want to like take a couple of days and just let this roll over or blow over? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let her bully me. So I'm gonna say my piece, and it's either gonna be taken the right way or taken a different way. But I'm just gonna
Hmm.
say my piece and move on. And that's what I've learned. And I've learned to develop a thick skin, because there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna give you criticism. It might not be constructive, but it's gonna be criticism, and it's just how you take it and where you go with it at the end of the day.
And I agree because I didn't know what you were going to do because I saw in your story you were like, I see this and I'll deal with this later. I was like, later? Like
Yeah, because I was busy working. I was like, I was working, and I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with this right now. I'm not gonna put this at the top of my priority because it wasn't.
because I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? Like, what does he mean later? In an hour? Like 15 tomorrow? Like, I was like, when is he going to say
Right,
something? But I mean, but like you say, we do have lives outside of this. Sometimes it seems like we don't, and this is
right.
our job.
Hmm.
But I understand that. But I was like, when is he going to say something?
Yeah, because I don't
And
do this full time.
right, right. And
Hmm.
then I saw her, she was very comfortable with her live, right?
Yes.
And I was like, I was really kind of thrown off with the comments in the live too. It was just a lot of people that she had some really positive comments towards her.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, we're all human at the core. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Regardless of who we decide to love, like, or whatever.
Right.
So so your definition of being transphobic and homophobic is like what she did.
Right. And I like brought up the meaning. I was gonna read it.
Okay.
So transphobia is a dislike of or strong prejudice against transgender people,
Okay.
which she clearly showed that she had a dislike for transgender people.
But she said she had a lot of friends.
She no, so she said she had a lot of gay friends who were okay
Okay.
with her calling them the F word, which I don't believe her and I think she's lying. But again, it leads back to a white person saying, "Oh, I can use the N word because I've had black friends," or I'm not racist because I have black friends. So that's basically what she tried to do,
Okay.
in my
Because
opinion.
that's what I wanted to know because I wanted to know like it because it is like a bad word to be using. You
Hmm.
don't use that loosely as they used to do a long time ago.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that is just how you defined someone that was not heterosexual. So, where are you with everything now?
I think I've moved past it.
Okay.
I've said my piece and I've said what I needed to say, and I've told myself at the end of the day, going to, I'm not putting anything up regarding Tasha K on my platform because she clearly is not the type of person that I want on my platform. And the funny thing about it is after she called me the F word and she did all that and she did her live and she went on multiple places and like typed that it's okay for her to use the F word because it's the same as saying MF or the N word. She
Mm,
followed me on Instagram. And I'm
I
like, this
saw that.
girl is crazy. Clearly
I saw
she's
that.
unhinged. And so I'm like, this clearly is some kind of game to her.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I saw that.
I don't know. It's clearly some kind of game. Because I
What
was
I
So
following
like,
her and then she followed me.
I was like, go
what
ahead.
I
Go ahead,
like to
Evan.
say is whatever you feed, it grows.
Right.
So if you feed into the negativity, that's what's going to grow. If you feed
Right.
into the positivity, that's what's going to grow. So like I
Yeah.
just want to commend you because
Thank you.
that could have been handled in such a negative, you could have came back in such a negative way
Right.
Exactly.
towards her, and you could have really been well within your right to let her have it, but you didn't. I feel like you just carried it with a lot of grace and a lot of
Mhm.
class, and I just feel like it also speaks to your brand. But I do have a question for you,
Okay.
and if you don't want to answer, because it's up to you. But
I'm already scared.
I'm of Jamaican descent, okay? I
Oh,
know you're
nice.
I know you're Jamaican. I know you're Jamaican descent,
Oh, I'm
and you
Jamaican.
spoke a little bit
He
in
said
your
all the
content
way.
about you not having a relationship with your father, so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So if you care to share, kind of give us just like a little bit of Alfonso, like when because in our cultural,
Hmm.
it's highly frowned upon, in our
Right.
culture.
Hmm.
So like what was your maybe not coming out experience, but just maybe a little bit of your experience, just like growing up and knowing that's who you are? Did you have to hide yourself in any type of way, or maybe dim who you are in any type of way? If you want to give us a little bit of insight.
Oh yeah, growing up, because I grew up in Jamaica. Growing up in Jamaica was it was a very strange situation being gay. I say strange situation because again, you can't be openly gay, so you might act a certain way, and people might be like, "Oh, I think you're gay," or "Are you gay?" But it's like I grew up being like, if somebody asks you that question, it's not a question that you're going to answer, or you're going to say no, or you're going to say it's none of your business.
Oh
Right.
And
wow.
so, yeah, and so that's how I grew up. It's none of your business. And of course, my family or whatever, they'll be like, if you get to a certain age and you don't have like a girlfriend, they're going to be like, well, are you gay? So it was difficult for me growing up in Jamaica. And then I was bullied in high school. I was bullied, for acting a certain way and being outspoken or the way you talk. So um, it was just a weird situation overall. I can say it wasn't a fun time.
Well,
And
now
how did you
you're.
get to a
Oh yeah.
place being with that, like kind of having to just dim who you are for so long? When did you finally get to a space and be comfortable? Like, you know what? I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be me. Because now, you know, as things have progressed in the world, like
Yeah.
life looks different for so many people. It's not,
Right.
there are happily married gay men,
Yeah.
families, great relationships,
Mhm.
all of those kinds of things. So if you could just speak to, when you finally was decided like, hey, this is how I'm going to live my life, and then just, kind of expand on that.
So I moved to the US about 10 years ago. And then at that point, I was like, I'm in a country where I can be free to be who I want. And clearly, it's going to be a lot different from being in Jamaica. So I decided I'm just going to live my life how I want. And of course, I do have people from that I used to go to high school with or used to work with or whatever from all sorts of life on my Instagram and my Facebook and stuff like that. So I decided to split certain things like on my Instagram because it's a public profile. I rarely put like certain private things on there.
Right.
And I will
Of
put
course.
private things on my Facebook, which I barely and rarely use because Facebook is so old right now. But I put most of my like private and personal things on Facebook. So I just like be careful of who I add to my Facebook and I be careful of what I like post um that goes to the general public because I've had situations of leading back to my father why we don't have a relationship. I've had situations where he knows I'm gay, um, but it's still like a topic of conversation for my family in Jamaica and some of them that I don't talk to. And
Mm-hmm.
for relatives that's in the US, I just don't really talk to them because if you can't love me for who I am and if you can't let me live my life, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to affect you in any way, to just be respectful of my life and my
Right.
boundaries. So I just don't have that kind of like relationship with them. And so I remember I didn't post a picture on my Instagram, but my mother-in-law is on my Instagram, and she commented on one of my photos, and like my father ended up finding my Instagram somehow and went to like my mother-in-law's profile, and it wasn't like a private profile. And so she had like posted photos of like, I think when we were just got engaged, she posted photos. The next thing I know, he took the photos, screenshotted them, and my photos were circulated in like a family group chat of like relatives who are homophobic. And I'm like, if you're homophobic and you don't like this, why are you circulating my photo?
Right.
Oh
How does
my
that affect you?
gosh.
Right.
Yes, so it's
Right.
like
That's
it, yeah,
crazy.
and so I'm like, this is, you're crazy, and like you're
Like
homophobic.
you're you, in a sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, you
Mhm.
don't really want to have a relationship with me, but you're still kind of obsessing over me in
Right.
some kind of
Yeah,
Right.
and
form,
I'm like, why
right?
are you like actually seeking out to go find stuff about me to just circulate and talk about me? That's just weird.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well,
Right.
I am so glad to know that you're in this space right now because
Thank
like
you.
we know what we see on the
Yeah.
internet. You're right.
Hmm.
We know what we see on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. But it seems like you're really happy with who you are, where you are,
Yes, I am.
and the skin that you're in. And I love that for you.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy that you're good at this point. I'm glad that and after this this will be over for you or whatever unless
Yeah.
somebody gets a hold of this and passes it on. But
Right. Right.
but the thing
But
is,
yeah, it's whatever.
I really wanted you. I mean, I know, we have 3 minutes on TikTok.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
And
we have
it's
like
like
10.
they took mine away.
Really?
I want my 10 minutes back.
I just
But
did it like today. Well, I had it today, so we'll see.
maybe I need to just restart it. But my thing is, I wanted to give you a platform where you could just really speak about it and
Yeah.
just really get it out how you felt and then just let it be done.
Thank you.
So that's why I asked you to be here today. And I really am a fan and I just enjoy what you do.
Thanks. I'm glad that, people are actually enjoying what I do, because at the end of the day, when I started, I was like, listen, people are either going to take this the wrong way, or they're going to take it like how I take it and just know that I'm just being funny and I just throw shade. And at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I'm not a malicious person.
No, no. So this is going to conclude our Tasha K part. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're just going to get into who we actually are.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes.
So I'm over it. That's my part.
That's funny. Um, I'm over it too, but I will say episode 6 should have been episode 1 because it was a lot better
It
than the
was.
past 5 episodes
It
combined.
was.
It was a lot better.
It was a lot better, even though it was the same story brought
Hmm.
back from 3 episodes, the past 2 episodes, I guess.
Right.
But it was a lot better. But I'm
Hmm.
ready for this to be over because Marlo is just dragging me down.
Right. Um,
She's doing too much.
and it's also interesting that the flashback that production did. I don't know if you noticed, but with her talking about her nephew and all that with Candy,
Mhm.
I feel like that was from like last year, maybe, or I can't remember what year she said her nephew
I think it
died.
was 2 years ago.
It
Oh,
was,
okay.
yeah, it
Because
was 2 years ago.
okay, because when I watched the footage, how I was like, they don't. Looks like it's a really old footage, and I
It
think they
was.
showed like Riley in there, and Riley lost a lot of weight. So I'm also like saying this is really old footage.
Well, see, Riley was getting ready to go to college, and she had
Right.
come over to talk, and that's when it happened. She was telling Candy about her nephew and all that, and Candy
Mhm.
was just listening because even 2 years ago, when she came in to talk about it,
Yeah.
Candy had nothing to do with it but listen to it. It's just
Right.
if I have this conversation with you all right now, that has nothing to do with it. If my
Right.
friend was on TikTok, I can't blame it on you for not, you could just say, I'm sorry that happened. I can't get mad at y'all for just like, well, y'all should have sent flowers. Is that what you
Right.
want? Is that going to
I
make you happy? Send the girl some flowers.
I really don't understand like what exactly Marlo wanted Candy to do, and she doesn't specifically say what she wanted Candy to do. So I feel like she probably just wanted Candy to be there to make her the center of attention and to
Mm.
maybe hold her hand. I don't know, but I feel like it's been 2 years and I totally get that. But if Candy is showing text messages of you talking to her and being okay, then 2 years later, you can't say, well, you weren't there for me because you two had a whole text exchange back and forth. And there
I
was something about a cameo, getting her signed up for cameo or something. She wanted Candy to help her.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
she
then
went
how are
right
you
to that.
upset?
Yeah, she went right to that. Like I can get you, little coins if you need some little extra money.
The
Right.
nickname for Candy, Candy Yams.
Candy
That
Yams.
sent
Right.
me.
So you okay today? Like
Right.
everything is okay
It
today.
it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. And I feel like Marlo is trying to have a storyline and she's trying to be like, okay, I'm carrying the show, especially based on the interviews that she's done leading up to the preview of the show. I know that's what she meant because she was saying how I really let Candy work for her money this season. And I'm like, this is your first season getting a peach.
I
So
I
maybe
really
worry
feel
about that.
like I've heard this across the board on different platforms, and I
Mhm.
agree with this 100%. She really wants to be in that Candy and Kenya group
Yes.
because she's been here so much longer than Courtney, Drew, um,
Manietta.
Moneta. So she doesn't
Mhm.
feel like she's in the freshman group. She definitely feels like she's in the junior senior group. And
Right.
they just don't want to have anything to do with her. I mean, even Sheree, she's in there with Sheree, but Sheree doesn't have that. She doesn't have that. You know what I mean? Sheree is. I don't even understand why Sheree is on the show.
Same.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either. Um
I kind of feel like Marlo is, to piggyback off what you said, is really trying to vie for the attention, to get the approval from,
mhm.
the top of the food chain, so to speak. But she's just going about it all the wrong way. It's
Yes.
like it's like you're acting like a petulant, misbehaved child to get the attention that you're seeking instead of really trying to build a relationship with them. I just feel like she thinks coming at, like, I don't know, it's like she just seems like she's all over the place. One minute she wants peace and she wants to be nice, and
Right.
then they say if Kenya breathe wrong,
She's ready to
Candy
go.
breathes wrong.
Right.
My nephew, you didn't say
Yeah,
what?
it's
And it's like,
crazy. It's crazy. And I for the life of me, I do not understand why she went on that trip to Birmingham. If I do not like you, I am not going to put myself, I'm not even worried about you and what you're doing. I'm not going to put myself in that situation where
Right.
I'm just completely unhappy. And
So true. That's true.
I know it's, I could eventually act up on this trip. So why would I do that to myself?
Yeah, this whole trip seemed weird to me, and I don't. A part of me feels like Kenya wasn't gonna perform. I feel like she made that up in her head, because like, how did you go? How do you go all the way to like another state and say you're gonna perform? You don't perform, and then the people kicked you out of an event that you were supposed like you're getting paid to be at. I don't. That whole
Now that
situation didn't make sense to me.
Now that part, I listened to what Carlos King has said about that, and this is what made sense to me. He was like, when you're filming a show and you're going to like a club or something like that,
Hmm.
he was like, the thing is, um, you have a certain time to do it, right? Because they
Right.
want to play music, they want to, you can't play all the music in the background. So that's why Kenya was like, Manetta, we gotta go, we gotta be here, we gotta do this, we gotta do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So he was saying that that's why Kenya was ready to go, because she knew there was a time crunch that she had to be in. So once they got there, they probably was a little late, and that's why they say you can't be here, because there was a party going on. And then
Yeah.
and then you got all the housewives coming in, that's taking attention from whatever the situation is.
Right.
So I get that, right? I
Hmm.
understand that. So, but I thought it was so crazy when Kenya said that she wanted to have the HBCU experience. You live in Atlanta. The AU
Right.
centers are right there together. It doesn't get any better than Morehouse, Spelman, Morris Brown, and
Right.
Clark, and
Clark.
Alabama A&M 3 hours down the road. But you can have that. You can have the
Right.
HBCU experience right there.
I think she was just saying that for the camera.
Had to be. And
Yeah.
I'm like you. I was like, Kenya didn't even take the practices serious.
Right? Manietta was doing all the work, and Manietta can dance. I didn't know she was a dancer.
I didn't either.
Yeah, she was. She. I was like, whoa.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't know
She
that
was
either.
going all out. I feel like they should keep her and just like get rid of everybody else, to be honest, and start over
What are
fresh.
your thoughts on Courtney?
Courtney's irrelevant, to be honest. I don't know why she's there.
Completely.
Like I said
Completely.
in my video, I feel like Courtney is just somebody they just threw into the mix and just be like, let's see what happens. Because I don't get why she's there. I don't understand who she's even friends with. And then her whole storyline is she met Ralph for 5 seconds and they're cousins.
In a
And I'm
party. At a party.
right.
At a party.
And
How you
then
that's crazy.
after that, you just met this person. Okay, you're cousins. And then you're acting as if you've known each other for like a million years and you grew up together. It's just so it's so weird.
It is so weird.
And Ralph was treating her way better than how he was treating his in-laws because Drew's father was sick and he didn't even go. He went to the party instead and said, "Oh, Drew has family emergency." So that's not a part of his family. And I'm like,
You
I thought
know,
you were married.
you know what? Honestly, I had forgot about Drew that whole episode until I saw Ralph.
I was just
Right.
gonna say that I did not miss her at all.
At
When
all.
they pulled the when Marlo was like, Drew and Candy come to the side, I was like, oh, Drew's here.
I was like,
That was so funny.
and then like last night's show, I literally heard like 2 minutes or 30 seconds of what they were talking about, and
Yeah.
I went right through it because I was like, this didn't even have to happen.
Right. The whole interaction with them, it doesn't seem organic anymore. And this
Mm-mm.
whole picking of sides and everybody's splitting up, I just feel like they need to start fresh. Like how they did New York. They need to start fresh with we need whole new different peaches because
Are we excited about New York?
I'm not really excited about it, but I did watch the preview and it looks like it's gonna be good, but looks
Okay.
are deceiving. But I'm gonna give it a try based on what I've seen.
Yeah. So I thought the Kenya in the warehouse for Kenya Moore hair studios, I did not know what that was. Like,
That was
I just
confusing.
need a flow. I have gone back, and this is so sad. I love television. I love reality TV. I love the
Same.
Housewives. And I have gone back and I have watched episodes of the Housewives, and it's like what is missing is the fun. Like they're gonna be
Right.
fussing next week. Like fussing next week, and Marlo is walking out of the dinner. Like, what are you fussing about? It's a
Right.
Gucci event. Everybody has on Gucci. Like, how you just gonna be mad about that? That is
Right.
crazy to me. And I was
Yeah.
like, these girls don't even have fun. Like, can you win? First of all, Drew is always sick. She's always hurt, sick, or something.
That is true. That's true.
And so she's never hardly there. Then when they go on a trip, they're arguing. It's just insane. And then Manetta kind of doesn't know what she really wants to do. She doesn't know if she wants to be the get down girl or the quiet girl or the friend of. She's
Right.
just
But
trying to feel it out.
I think that's a good thing about Moneta because it shows some duality. You
Yeah.
know, I
Right.
love that. I love that. I love seeing Sonya on show Jamaica to the World, but she's just like, like
Sonya
she
can go.
she
I'm
gives.
sorry, but
She's so, I don't know if she's so stuck in the Olympian days and putting on, you know, you have to act a certain way and carry yourself a certain way. I don't really know who Sonya is personality wise.
I agree. And I feel like Sonya is she can I think she's reality show worthy, but not for Housewives.
Like I
agree.
I could
said,
watch her on like maybe HGTV, which I hardly watch these days, but I feel like she would be better on a show like maybe on WeTV or
Flipping
something.
houses.
well, no,
Yeah,
she They
but
said she had a show. She had a
that's what
reality
I
show,
heard, and they said
and
it
I
was
can
good.
see that. I
I did
love her
watch it.
family.
It was called Sanya's Glam and Gold. Actually, when I was on Google TV, I saw that people are tuning into it because it came up on my feed to watch. It
Oh,
was a really cute show, but again, when that show came out, we're at
yeah,
the hype of drama TV, so
yeah,
it really wasn't pulling in probably what it needed to stay. And
right,
sometimes us consumers of television, we can be so fickle.
Hmm.
One time we don't want no drama, we don't want no ratchetness. We just want
exactly.
prim and proper. And then sometimes we want ratchetness, no prim and proper. So it's just the timing I think was off for that show. But I totally agree. And her family is good TV.
Yeah,
Yeah, her
I mean,
sister is her sister's. Yeah, her sister's pretty
It's
good
just
for
not with.
TV.
I think if they do like a complete reboot,
yeah.
you could do you could do Monietta. And Sonya kind of gives me a little bit of Cynthia vibes. I think everybody
Mm-mm.
else's personalities are so
No,
big in
ma'am.
the room. She
No,
Yeah,
can't
ma'am.
she can't really fit in somewhere. I don't know. I would like to give Sonya a chance to show us something.
she's
I
had
would
two
like
seasons
Sanya
now
on.
of
I would like
chances.
Sanya on whatever network she was on with her family, and I would like to see because I love her mother. She's beautiful. Her sister's beautiful. Deuce
Right.
is growing up. I want to see what Ross is over there doing in Austin. Like I want to know all of it. I want to see what he's doing out here because, like, let's go to Austin and see what's going on.
Right. I don't
Like
really know her
I want to
husband.
see Derek
Yeah.
Blanks. I want to see Derek Blanks come and do another photo shoot of the girls and they have a little party or something like that. Like just make it fun. Y'all fuss
Right.
every day, all day. It's
So maybe she needs to be a
crazy.
friend of.
No, she needs her
She needs.
own show.
Yeah. She. I think the ladies believe, or in their mind at this point, they're thinking, okay, people want to see us fight every week. Nobody wants to see that. We
Not at
No.
also don't
all.
want to see like this conflict lasting for years because in reality, not a lot of people would have like who are like friends or frenemies
Mhm.
would have a conflict this long or would be around each other for this long for a
No.
conflict to keep going.
Right.
So it's either leave the show or try to resolve the issue, show us that you're grown and you can move past this. Move past
Cuz
it and start a different conflict, but not
cuz
the
what I
same
thought
conflict over and
oh, I'm
over.
sorry.
No,
Cuz
yeah,
what I
go ahead.
thought was so crazy was Sheree telling the girls at the place that she has a grandbaby. This is the first time you're hearing about this. That lets you know, like people like that. Sheree's not friends with them like that. But
Yeah,
see, that's
right.
the thing. Like if that had been Nene and Kim and even Cynthia, we would have had a baby shower.
Exactly.
Or grandma shower, because those
Right?
kind
They
of
didn't
Yes.
girls,
even
they're extra.
exactly. They didn't even do that. Yeah, I'm like when they showed her just show up with the her son just show up with the baby. I was like, "Oh, okay." Cuz I remember it was just the other day they announced that she was going to be a grandma. It was like just a
Now
couple of
Mecca
weeks
is
ago.
walking. Mecca is walking now. I
Right,
just
but
saw
they
that today.
Oh
wow, and they
wow.
announced it like a couple weeks ago before it actually aired. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, I was like, that's a whole thing. Like, we giving Sheree a glamour shower so she can have things at her house when her grandbaby comes
Right.
over. Like that would have been a great thing to see because I'm not gonna lie, like I absolutely loved Sheree's segment last night with the baby and making the
Right.
ornament.
Yeah, that was a cool
I
segment.
that was the first thing that she's done that's been great to me all season.
Mhm.
I was like, let's do this.
Right, and it wasn't surrounding Martell.
Oh God. And I oh my God.
It wasn't
And
surrounding.
look, and I know that they've already filmed this, so there may be some little dribbles and bits of him still coming up, but I'm
Right.
ready for that to drop because we all know that's over. And I know
Right.
everybody in the chat know that that's over too. That's a wrap.
Yeah, that was just an opportunity, and the opportunity has passed.
And it fell flat. It was horrible.
Yes.
Right? I don't think any.
Yes.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe she benefited from it. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think so. I think Sheree it if it did anything, it exemplified how bad her taste is in men and how far she will
Right?
go to keep
Exactly.
a man. If it did anything, right?
And that's
Because when they
sad, and I
showed
feel
her
bad
sitting
for
down there
her.
waiting on Tyrone, I was like, can we just please
I was
not
like,
do that again?
Sheree is a beautiful woman. She's
She
not in.
is.
She's super smart. I'm just like, I don't know. It's sad.
And I
It was
mean,
sad to watch. It
I
really
don't know
was.
what she's done with her face. It's a little fresh.
I didn't watch What Happens Live last night, but apparently Andy asked her about it, and she
He
was like being
did.
coy. She did something.
No, nope. I had my lips. Nope. Yes, you've
She
done
did
something
something.
now.
Yeah, she looks different,
She looks so different.
and she was
But
aging so nicely. And I don't think she needed anything. But again, it's not my body, so I can't tell her what to do.
yeah. But oh my gosh. We saw some new She by Sheree merchandise last night. I mean,
I
she
did
got
see
a
the cup.
platform.
Yeah, the cup that she showed, I did see that. I think she posted it about it. And I was like, that looks like the reusable cups that Starbucks do every year for Christmas. It looks something it looks something along the line. I'm not being shady, what it does. It looks like the reusable cups that Starbucks gives out every year around Christmas time. It's just
Oh
that it's in a
no.
different color. Because it's like normally like red and green or like a different color every year, but they give out like like reusable cups. And I have one somewhere. I just didn't like have it. Yeah.
Sheree, so sad.
I hope
Oh
it's
my
good
god.
quality though.
Yeah.
I won't be
Now,
buying it.
towards the end towards the end of the show, what I did not like, I guess sometimes you want a little something, but Candy
Hmm.
was so upset. Then she went outside and she was so upset. And
Right.
I hate to see people get her there because she can go there.
Right.
And you just, like we're tired of seeing women fighting on TV.
Right. And I must say, I feel like a lot of people were saying how Candy was what was the word that Drew was using? Again, Drew said Marlo was aggressive, but people were saying Candy was the one that was being aggressive. They were both wrong. Marlo was like, she knows how to play it cool, and she was egging Candy on. She knew
Yes.
exactly what she was doing,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do anything. She's gonna do it for me." And I can see that's exactly what she was doing, and Candy was just taking the bait. But
Yep,
again, I feel like Candy was just over it, and I have to be 100. Candy was just over it, and she was pissed.
she
And like
was.
she said, she just came off of like filming, um,
The
what is that?
WWV and
Escape,
Escape.
yeah, SWV and Escape, and I saw how that went. But in the beginning, when she was like trying to apologize for her behavior, and I'm like, girl, please don't do that. But watching it and it leading up to that, I can see why she was upset. Did she go a little bit too much? Yes, but I can see
Yes.
why she was upset. But
Yeah.
it was a lot. It
Yes.
was a lot.
It was a lot. And yeah, Marlo pulled that what she pulled on Sheree when they were in Africa, that going back and forth. Yeah,
Right.
it's that going back and forth. And I was like, you
I forgot
gotta
about
stop
that.
that. Like that
Hmm.
is crazy. And I just feel like they were younger, now they're a little older. Marlo's been on this train for a minute. Like she got a
Right.
peach and she doesn't know what to do with it.
She got a canned
Oh,
peach, as
Does
somebody
she
said.
have does Marlo, let's ask this question, right? Is there anything Marlo can do? And I mean, I don't know how many episodes we have left. Is there anything that Marlo can do for the viewers to be like, yeah, I want to tune in to see her next season?
I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
To this day, I still don't know what Marla does for a living.
We don't know what we
So
don't know anything about Sheree. We don't know anything
right,
about Marlo.
I don't know how they're getting their money. It's not really my business, but you're on a reality show, and I want to hear something. I want to know
Right.
I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Now we know she's doing La Archive, and she has a deal with Netflix. She has a deal with Netflix according to her. Um, and I think she's been working with like people like Tammy Roman, where she gives them the clothes for filming and whatever.
Oh, yes, she did say that.
Yeah, so I know she's doing that, but I don't know what she did before that, and that's not where she's getting most of her money from. Because we're not stupid. You just started that business the other day.
Well, she was a booster back in the day, honey. So she probably had to pull out that card there once in a while.
Right,
You got to go back to what you know.
right.
But it's
Honestly,
not
though, I
working.
think she should like do like candy and make lemonade out of lemons,
Yeah.
because everybody thinks you're like, you're getting a sugar daddy, you have a sugar daddy. Do a course, do a TED talk. I will gladly pay for that if you're going to tell me how to find a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Tell me the ins and outs. I will pay for that. I feel like she should do something like that. That will make her a lot of money.
I don't know what she could do. Like, I mean, we do know like her background. We know how she grew up, and we know that part. We know the dark part of it. But however she and Nene became friends and how they stayed friends, like she doesn't even have someone she can do that with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
And
feel like you're oh, go ahead. I'm
no, go
sorry.
ahead. You go ahead. I'm listening.
I feel like your first, like for women, like your first established woman relationship that
Hmm.
kind of sets the tone for your other women relationships is your mother, right?
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think because her relationship is so fractured with her mother, based on the interaction that I saw in that episode
Hmm.
when I was it last season? I think I was binge watching. And it's like, this is why she can't get along with she I can't see her getting along with anybody. Anybody. Like it's like she
Right.
falls in and out. Like one day she's like, yeah,
She
I want
doesn't
to do
trust. She
this.
doesn't
And
trust. She doesn't trust.
right,
Right.
there
So
you
so
go.
that's her. That's her. What she keeps in her back pocket. Like even with Sheree, like Sheree is probably the best friend she has on this show. But she
Mhm.
always has a little something she can talk about Sheree about. You know.
Right. And
So I think that trust is a big thing for her. So that's her problem.
right. I also think she would have been like close friends with Kenya because they have similar backgrounds of like not growing up with their mother or having issues with their mother. And I thought they would have been friends because of that, and that didn't happen. And I would have liked to
No,
see them be friends, bond on that whole situation. But that
I
didn't
just
happen.
and then we don't even know Kenya. Really, we don't really know Kenya. We know her backstory, and then that's it. We know the men that she's brought on the show, allegedly paid to be on the show.
Right.
And even with this Roy dude, I was like, in my review, I was like, the relationship is over before we get it started.
I don't even understand that relationship that she supposedly has.
That one
Um,
photo, that one picture she has, now it's about to be over.
and the one phone call with Manieta talking to him on the phone, because
Right.
Manieta, I guess, introduced them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this doesn't seem like it's going anywhere.
And I was like, Kenya, you didn't even have to introduce this man into the United States, I mean, the universe, the reality universe. And then
Yeah.
now we're sitting here asking, where is your man? Like, what are you
Hmm.
doing? I want to see her in court. I want to see the proceedings. I want to see her switch off with Mark with Brooklyn. I want to see that.
Right. I don't think Mark would allow that, but yeah, I would want to see her like even walking to court. Show us that you're walking into court, even if you're gonna make it up. But show us that you're
Right.
walking into court. Show us you meeting up with a lawyer, talking about stuff. I don't see any of that, and I think it's weird.
How great was it when Sheree and Phaedra was in court with
Right?
Bob? That was fantastic.
that was a good scene, and
That
it
was a
was
great scene.
that was a great scene, and it was funny when Phaedra lost
It was, and
against
then when Bob
Bob.
stuck his tongue out at everybody, that
That
was
was a good scene,
crazy.
though. That was a great scene.
So
Those were
I
the
was
good
just,
old days.
those were the good old days, and that's what I do. Like I'll go back and watch. I was like, this is what's missing.
Hmm.
This is what's missing.
Yeah, it just took a dark turn, and they never went back.
Speak with your girl Marcella said. Oh hey Marcella said. Hold on. Manetta hooking up with the ladies with the white men. Honey said black was the old way. Manetta, I mean, I think Neo just really put a bad taste in Manetta's mouth, and she was like, I can't go this route anymore. I'm just
So
not gonna be able to do it.
this is embarrassing, but I didn't know about her and Neo until recently. I was like, wait, what? Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know. I was like, wow, okay. I do remember I do remember like some talkings about like the person he was with, but I didn't know it was her. Like I just didn't know it was Manetta. I was like, wow,
and I
interesting.
think correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, didn't Manetta? they had a conversation, and she got like her tubes tied or something, and he was supposed to get a vasectomy,
Oh, wow.
and he
Yep.
didn't do it.
Yep.
Wow.
He did
Betrayed
not
her.
do it, and then he
Yep.
left, and then he
Yep.
left.
Jeez, that's evil.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is why he's currently divorced and paying.
yeah. And now he's out here with models from social media.
Yep. That's how it goes.
I just, I mean, I like Moneta on the show. I liked her better last season. I really did. Seems like,
Hmm.
I mean, she's slowly getting in there.
Yeah.
She's slowly getting in there, but I really liked her better last season. But I mean, that's Candy's friend, so she's going to do what she's going to do.
Right. And I feel like at the end of the day, she's going to be loyal to Candy, and she has a mind of her own, and she's gonna try to let us believe that. But at the end of the day, she's gonna think in the back of her head, would Candy be okay with me doing this? Would Candy be okay with me saying this? And I get that as a friend, but at the
Yep.
end of the day, you're not supposed to let us know that that's what you're doing, or you can't show that. But I feel like she is showing it, and I can see it.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was crazy because Carlos referred to her as Candy's lapdog.
Oh wow, really? I haven't watched Carlos'
Yeah.
videos in a while.
Yeah, she went on there. She went on his podcast and she talked about it. She said she's a friend, she's a supportive friend, and you support
Hmm.
your friends and blah blah blah. I thought that was a little harsh, but she got it out. She explained it.
Right.
But I like Moneta on
I
the
don't
show.
think
I
of her like that though.
No, I don't think of her like that either. But I like her on the show. I heard someone say that if they replaced everybody, let Drew stay. Let Drew be the bridge that holds us here with the housewives while they bring in new people. At first, I was like, yeah. Then now I was like, no.
I think
Drew,
they should just start over and
yeah,
keep
yeah,
maybe keep Moneta, but I feel like they should definitely start over. I don't like where it's going. And if you're watching and you're a housewife, that's how I feel. Sorry. Sorry,
I
not
kind of would
sorry.
like for them to get back to having actual housewives.
Right? And actual
yes,
women that are actually married and like
Have
I,
that family
I
dynamic,
said it the
have
other
that
day.
husband giving
Yep.
his unsolicited, I
yeah,
think that's what the franchise is missing. Like, we need to see the husbands, that
Right.
housewife feel like having that balance. I mean, Candy and Todd, Candy has given a lot on the housewives, but I
yes,
think her
Yes.
story has come to an end. Like,
right,
she's
Exactly.
raised, she's given a lot. We
Yes.
watched her get married, find love. She raised Raleigh, had two more children.
we
She's,
got to see like
up on 10 years of marriage with Todd, and they're doing all of these great things with restaurants and production. I
Yeah.
think it's time for her story to wrap up.
Yeah, but
okay,
Candy, my thing with Candy is even though I agree with you, she's not gonna leave until the wheels fall off. She's not gonna
yeah,
leave until they throw
yeah,
her out.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
at the
yeah,
end of the
I
day,
She's
agree.
gonna be
I
there.
agree.
at the end of the day, this is as Marlo says, she's using the platform to promote her products. She's using the platform to promote everything. And she's a talented writer. She can sing. I think she can sing. Everybody has their moments with their
Okay.
keys or whatever. And I'm not being shady towards Candy. She's a very talented woman. But at the end of the day, if she wasn't on the show, half the things that's happening as it relates to some of the things that she's promoted would not have went the way it went if she wasn't on the show. Let's just be real. So she's not gonna leave the show because it's helping her make money. She's helping them make money and they're helping her make money. So she's not. I don't think she's ever gonna leave unless they fire her.
Yeah, because it'll have to be a lot. It would have to be a lot. It really would.
And she has been the smartest housewife so far that will be able to that knows how to promote within the show.
That's true. That's
That's
So I
that's
think
true.
a
that's
lot of
true.
the
That's
ladies
true.
should use that as an example because she definitely knows how to turn lemons into lemonade.
She
She
really
sets the
does.
bar for that for sure. Like,
Yeah,
look how she got that KFC commercial.
Oh my
exactly.
God, is it still
Somebody
playing?
somebody said Marlo is upset that she didn't get the commercial because she was the one that bought the chicken, and I feel like she is upset that she didn't get the commercial.
I think Marlo is upset about a lot of stuff that she's not getting, and I feel like I feel like Marlo feels like she's been there for so long,
Hmm.
and now that she has a peach, everything should just be automatic. Like I should be automatically in
Right.
with this group. I should be just like a senior. I'm a veteran, but you're not.
Right.
I think Marlo has severely confused her notoriety from actually being a peach holder. She may have been involved in some big moments on the show via Nene, but those weren't her moments. So
Right.
she
No.
still has some steps on the ladder that she has to climb, but
Yep.
she's kind of getting in her own way because she goes up a ladder with raising her nephews. That's a big task. That's a big thing to do.
Yeah.
But then she kicks them out. It's like
Ex-
she takes a step
right.
forward and then takes 2, 3 back.
But I
Right.
couldn't. But I like it was wrong. 100%, it was wrong. She kicked those babies out.
Yes.
But I did understand because she's not a mother, and I know that can be overwhelming, right? When you have been living your life and doing your thing in Gucci, Prada, Fendi, this, and now you got these two boys. It's like, oh, you've got to be fed. Oh, you
Hmm.
need to just be quiet. Oh, you don't be quiet. Oh, you're not quiet. It's quiet time at 9 o'clock. Like I think it was a lot for her. I don't think she should have kicked them out. I do not
Right.
think she should
Send
have
them to
done it.
summer school or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Get a nanny.
I thought it was a lot. I just thought it was a lot. But I've seen a lot of people say that this episode was the best episode this season
I mean,
so far.
I wouldn't call it the best, but
It was better.
if we're comparing it to the past 5 episodes, I would say yes, it could be the best. I would
Yes.
definitely say that. One thing that I realized too is I don't know if you watched like most of the interviews that Kenya was doing, but she was saying how um or I think Candy as well, they had said something along the line of, well, they've been trying to talk about Marlo's records and her past, but somehow um the edit based on editing, it always gets edited out and it's never gets stayed in or whatever.
Hmm.
And so this season, it appears to me that every 5 seconds they're talking about Marlo's record.
Yeah, they
Am
need
I
to
the
let
only
that
one that's recognizing that? And then for Candy to be like, "Oh, Marlo is such a good person, and people always use her record against her," and then the next scene, that's her talking
Yeah.
about Marlo's. I'm like, girl, you put your foot in your mouth.
But I think the only reason that it's true, but I think Candy was the only one that gave Marlo an honest, genuine chance. I feel like.
Other than
She
Nene,
kind of
other
was
than
like,
Nene.
she is sweet, she's misunderstood,
Hmm.
she really has a caring heart. And I feel like, from what I can recall, none of the other girls were really that, maybe, of course, Sanya or whatever, but none of the other people that have previously been there really was like really open to Marlo outside of Candy. Then she
Well,
got burnt.
that's
Candy got burnt by Marlo big time.
right. I
Yeah.
think no. I think Kenya was sort of friends with Marlo at one point because I remember there was like I can't remember if it was season 4, what season it was, but there was a whole blow up of like Nene being upset with Marlo because Marlo is friends with Kenya. I don't know if
Yes,
I
you
I
remember
remember
that.
that.
And
remember
Nene
that.
was
I
walking
remember
away and
that.
she was chasing her down.
The
At the
baseball
So
field, I think.
yes,
baseball
the
game.
baseball
Yeah.
field, and she was like, "You're mad that I'm friends with Kenya." So that was a whole situation, but I don't know where they like went off the rails. Maybe it was
When she
when
when
talked about
Kenya
Kenya's
when Marlo
mother.
brought up Kenya's mom.
Yeah, I think that's where it fell
Oh
Oh,
out
yeah,
for
and
her.
that was
Yeah,
at the that was at the fire pit. They were
right. They were
camping.
whew.
on camping, glamping, or whatever they
And
were
she was
doing.
like, she said something like, "How could I want you when your own mother doesn't even want you?" I'm like, Marlo.
Because she's hurting, and she's basically projecting on Kenya. That's why I'm like, you should both be friends because you have that in common.
I have one.
You know.
I have one more question before we get out of
Okay.
here. So, as far as Housewife goes, so Carlos King was the producer for a long time on that show.
Hmm.
Was he the golden egg for that show? Because it is not. Because if you think about Nene and Kenya on that bus going to Florida,
Hmm.
if you think about all those like the pictures that they would take, like all those things, like Phaedra and Mr. Thunder or whatever he was, like those were good episodes.
Right. I don't remember when he left though. I don't remember what season he left.
Season 9.
Oh, okay. I have to go
And
back
I'm
and
not
look.
sure what was going on in that, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying, you just think about how it was. Like I literally went back. I was like, wow, this was really good.
Right, but at the end of the day, I feel like we can't like just put it all on like producers, like
Okay.
the producer that was there. I have to put it on the talent too. I feel like they have changed and they have gotten this whole, I don't know, something went to their brain and they're like, this is how I'm going to be, or this is what I'm going to do. I don't know if it's
Mm.
the fame that they've got from the show, or, everything being explosive and everybody's just loving the show. I don't know,
Right.
but they fell off the bus somewhere. They fell off somewhere.
It fell off because it's like you got Kim, you got Big Papa, you got Tardy for the Party, you got Kim in the
Right.
studio, you got Kim liking girls, you just,
Right? I remember somebody posted a picture of her and DJ Tracy, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about her and DJ
yes,
Tracy." That
you
was a
got,
good that was a good segment. That was a
yes,
good segment. Kim being on the show before she got crazy was really good.
But I
you
I
think
got,
that's also them living their real lives and being transparent about their real lives too.
yes,
Right. Back then
and
I
I
felt like
think,
they were being more real. Yeah, then
yeah,
now
yeah,
everybody's just
now,
figuring out what am I going to do for my storyline.
Right.
right, and that's the difference. And I think I
Mhm.
heard someone say that like they don't want to be real anymore. Like
Right.
cuz that I'm telling you, last night Kenya in the warehouse with Akila, whatever her name is, why are you in here? And you're the only one with a hard hat on. Like why are you in here?
She was just being great. And I don't even know who this Aquila I feel like she's trying to bring that person on as a friend.
She is, and she is like her husband
Okay.
plays football. They are philanthropic. They have foundations. They have 2 kids. But it's like, why
I
are you
honestly
in here in this building?
right, I've never heard of her like wanting a salon, and it's going to be like a hair salon, right? With her products. Is that what she was saying? I didn't even
Yes,
when that part was up, I was like, I'm not even paying attention because I don't understand what's happening.
I
Because I've
was
never heard of her saying developing
there was no
anything.
build up, no lead up, no
Right.
discussions beforehand. It was just like, oh, here's the line, here we
the
go.
camera
But
was up. They opened the door, and it was a scene.
in her defense, it could have been a lead up, but we don't know. She's probably
That's
going to
true.
say there was a lead up, but there could be a lead up. We don't know if they just like took that part out.
Oh
But
my god.
I think it was just weird.
Oh my goodness. Well, y'all, we're gonna wrap this up, and before we go, I just want to let y'all know, Ebony and I will be here every Monday in the month of June. We have new topics. I want to thank
Nice.
our guest today,
Thanks for having
Alfonso,
me.
and whatever you want to come back on. I love it. This has been wonderful.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
Ebony, tell us where we can find you out in the social media world.
I love TikTok. The Fly on
Same.
Cooks, aka official pot stir. You can find me over there hanging out, doing a mixture of telling people what I think about TV and then cooking on the side.
Oh, nice.
And Alfonso, how can we reach you?
I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I'm on YouTube as well. Forever Alphonso on all of them. All my platforms is the same.
So y'all go find him and follow him. And I just want to thank you again for being here. Thank you,
Of
Ebony, for
course.
being here. It's your girl Millie Chun. Thank y'all for being here at Millie Chun TV. We'll see y'all Monday.
Thanks for joining,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
No problem.